Raw, uncut, and unapologetic. Welcome to Men Talking Mindfulness.
What are the 5 pathways that you outline in your book to overcoming this executive loneliness, the stress, the ego, and everything else? What are those 5 pathways?
Yeah, I'd be very happy to talk them through. And the first step is what I'm calling taking stock. And imagine, for example, if you are a shop owner, you would naturally do an inventory check once a month or once a quarter, or at least a big one once a year. But as human beings, how often are we really taking a serious look at ourselves, an honest review of ourselves, getting a pen and paper out, perhaps a spreadsheet, where we really write down everything? And that is what happened when I came into recovery and you were given a sponsor. That's the first thing basically you're asked to do. It's really looking at yourself and identifying what it is. And this is of course related also to the ego then, but when you start putting down the issues you have. And in my instance then, it was that I was overweight, I had an alcohol addiction, I had a lot of broken relationships. I then had to write down the names of these relationships. I had some credit cards that were unpaid. I had some debt. I had to write down all these kind of things that were not right, and that was just the first step to get that list on paper.
Yeah, it sounds almost as though you were looking for help in other ways. Obviously, you were looking for help at the bottom of a bottle with alcohol. You were looking for help in these relationships that may have not had any real depth to them. You were just kind of using them as a way, almost like a Band-Aid. The credit card, I know a lot of the time people do, retail therapy. They'll go and spend a lot of money to make themselves feel better. And then, 5 minutes later, after they've bought their $5,000 outfit, they feel even worse than they did before. It sounds as though that's where you were. But you stopped and you took stock. And you asked the question, you said, how often do we do that? I know that when I was leading organizations, I never took stock. I was just, hey, I'm too busy, quote unquote, to take stock. But if you take a step back and you realize if you stop to take that stock, stop to take stock.
There you go, John.
Yeah, you can actually coin that trademark.
Got it, done.
Right? So you stop to take that stock in yourself, you're going to be a better leader for it. It may take some time, but you're going to be a better leader for it. And then your organization, which is the one that you're working for anyway, is going to be better for it. So I love that take stock first step. What's the next one?
Once you have that list clear, and if you need help to do that stock list, people can work with a coach, a mentor, or to get help, someone ask them the question you get done. But once that list is done, it's really about asking for help, and really thinking about for each single of these items, who can help me with this? Is it some information that is available online? Is it some organization that can help me? Is it a doctor? Do I need a coach for that? And so on. So you basically just take that list and you can go line by line and writing options for people you can talk to, people you can ask for. So you're starting to move towards the solution here.
Are those ways that people ask for help? Are they? I mean, obviously, in some ways, it'd be unique per individual. But do you see some commonality when you're working with different coaches or something like that in asking for help? Do you see the same kind of patterns repeating themselves?
Well, the most important here is to start to write down on that paper, who can help me with what, and ideally having someone accountable. So when I did this, I had a sponsor supporting me. So if you have a coach or a mentor to take you through this, or a friend you trust, because otherwise this list might never happen to go anywhere, because naturally people are so scared to ask for help. And that is what we are going through here by making this into a system, by following the steps to make sure we are moving forward. Otherwise, it's likely that they won't just take any action at all.
And that's the first step to vulnerability too. Is admitting that you're admitting there's a problem, right? And then with that problem, I can't do this alone. Obviously, if I've gotten to this point in my career, so I need to ask for help. And And what's an okay? So I love this. So I love taking stock. It's an amazing mindfulness practice. Stepping back, observing, right? Observing honestly, taking an honest assessment, and then the next one is like kind of asking for help, accessing, like going into vulnerability. So what's after that?
Well, it's about getting healthy, and in my instance, that meant that on the list, I was overweight. I had an issue with alcohol. I had a high blood pressure. There was many issues, and because I've been drinking too much, also there was liver and kidney issues and all these things. And it was about getting healthy. So I had to go to a doctor to get support.
Listen to the full episode on our podcast, Men Talking Mindfulness, or watch it here on YouTube. Thanks for checking us out. mentalkingmindfulness.com. Peace.